Welcome back. We finished some discussion around data collection and planning for small groups. You guys have already now a great plan for what you're going to teach in those small groups. You're thinking about getting your structure in place so that you can have that responsive teaching time. And now I want to show you how you can take your progression and align student work so kids have like a really great visual that shows them what you mean when you say do this. That's all you have to do is do this. Not only it shows them a visual of somebody doing the work at that level for each part of the progression. Now, I wish I was there with you and that we were in classrooms because what I have is just some examples and I don't have nearly enough, but I'm going to give you what I've got on hand right now and we'll make it work. What I had done here is basically I had taken a progression that I had created that's aligned with the standard. And then we had taken some student work and each piece of student work aligns with a different part of the progression. And down here, we highlighted, what we had done is we highlighted the skills that we wanted students to notice of how you could move across the progression on a certain skill. Okay, so we took one part of the progression, one of the skills of the progression, and then showed student examples of work. This one is one that I created, so it's not exactly student examples, but we had done that. You can do both, however it works for you. And we noticed what the student did, and we named it down here that's aligned with the progression, like a certain skill of progression. Again, here, this one helps move them up the progression. And we named what the student did down here that helps move students along the progression. And again, here, we named the evidence of what the student did and helps, lets them see what they need to do to move along the progression. We can get away from that deficit model of not thinking of, we want to get away from the deficit model of thinking about and focusing on what they're not doing and naming what they are doing and what's your next step to continue to move along that progression. Does that make sense? So it actually was a huge mind shift for me. This one's not, I'm going to show you another one. So I had taken a progression and just took a piece of student work here, and this is low student work. So this is probably like second grade, third grades, but it's an example for you guys. So I had taken some student work that they had written and then named exactly what they did that's from the progression and showed it. This is a tool now that I can say, see, this is how you could do this. Notice how the author did this. This is something you could try. And here I could talk about, notice how they had the evidence showing that there's a problem here. Notice the evidence in this part of the text in their writing when they were explaining their thinking. So when you have tools like this in your toolkit, so that could be your next level of your progression work and thinking about, okay, we have some, I've gone through my resources, I know what I have. Now let's start getting some student work and marking it up, because this can be really powerful. I can sit down with a student or a group of students in a small group and then say, see how they did this? Now you go try this in your piece. Go try this in your summary. Go try this in your explanation. I can even take something like this, and ask students, and I've done this as a mid-workshop teaching point too, just we've talked about each of these pieces, named and noticed what the students did in each section to be a 1, 2, or 3, or a not yet, progressing, mastery. and I'll have them self-assess. I'll say, where are you at right now? Tell me where you are on this progression, or have it in your mind and think, what do I need to do to move to the next step? This is incredibly powerful. Having evidence for students to be able to see the evidence with the language that we're doing, and to see it in the actual work that their peers, whether they're in their class or not, are doing, is incredibly powerful. It gives them a visual and helps them see, how do I move from here to here to here? You can't do this work if you haven't done the deep work of unpacking the standards, creating the progressions, and then now getting started. And how are we going to use these in our classroom? I am so excited for you guys as you start on this journey and start using these tools, because I promise you, you will see a big change. You will see impact and student achievement, and you're the one doing the work. Have a great day.